Pancakes here, and joining me tonight on The Stack, I have Carson Dilbeck.
I finally made it. I did it.
You can see Carson in Action Wrestling and in TWE out of Chattanooga and on The Stack tonight. So please welcome Carson Dilbeck.
Yeah. The Sad Boy Club finally invaded. I'm excited. So excited.
I'm excited. We were kind of talking before. I enjoy having you TWE guys on here, so it makes me very happy that I was able to interview you.
I'm so excited. Today has gone by so slow. we were talking this morning, and I was like, "Oh, today's gonna suck because it's gonna go by so slow," and it did.
Oh.
I was like, "I'm just ready."
Well, I'm glad that you're excited. That makes me feel great, to be honest with you. But I'm a lot better than if you're like dreading talking to me. So
if anyone dreads talking to you, they should be punched in the face. They should be punched in the face, and they should burn their boots.
Aw, you're gonna make me blush.
They should. If nobody wants. Okay, one of the things is like, why would they agree if they don't want to talk to you? Why would they agree to do the thing?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like some wrestlers feel like obligated to do podcasts. I don't ever want anybody to feel obligated to do The Stack. So if you feel like for some reason you have to do it just because I asked you, like, it's totally cool if you just tell me no.
That's fair. No, I'm super excited. I've wanted to do this for so long. You sent me the graphic, and I saw it, and I was like, finally. But I'm here. I made it. Let's get this going. I'm ready.
I'm so glad to have you. We're gonna go back in mentally go back in time.
Oh, man.
And what were you like as a young person? What were you like as a child?
A little shit starter. I always use this as an example when I got this. Did you watch the Hall of Fame where DX got inducted? And they were like, for anyone that got detention or anything for telling your classmates to suck it or doing crotch chops, this is for you. And I was like, that's me. I did that. No, I was a little shit starter. And my mom used to, I don't want to say beat the shit out of me, but like, you get your spankings and everything, but oh man, all the time. And it was usually like, you don't know how many times I've told my mom to suck it just because like Triple H and Shawn Michaels do it. Why am I getting in trouble for it? But yeah, I was a shit starter. Like just little menace to society, dude. Like I was a little gremlin. Also, I'm sorry if I'm like going off big tangents or like long-winded. I tend to do that. But I guess it's better than someone just going, I was a troublemaker. And then that's it.
Yeah, no, I much prefer, like, I'm a talker. So I much prefer to be matched up with other talkers. It makes things easier for me. I think it's more entertaining for people that listen. Mm-hmm. And then I don't have to feel like I'm trying to like harass information out of you.
Response. Like, yeah.
So by all means, talk your shit.
That's the only thing I'm good at. Can't wrestle for shit, but man, I can talk shit.
I love that though. I mean, for the most part, you can kind of teach anybody that wants to put the time and effort in to wrestle. Like people can wrestle passively and not hurt themselves or others. It doesn't mean they're good. It just means that they're competent. But it's that other piece that's the important part. Like the piece that's like makes me want to watch you because you are entertaining. Like good moves, at least for me and what I enjoy watching, like good moves can only get you so far. Like I need someone with like personality and character and that makes me interested in them besides like, oh great, you can do some good moves.
Right. And like I know there's this big thing about like pro wrestling and sports entertainer. I am the biggest sports entertainment fan you could ever meet. Like I hate to break it to anyone. I am the big I'm a WWE mark. I'll admit it. Now, it's not saying like I don't like AEW, I don't like New Japan, stuff like that, but like growing up, WWE was my shit. So like that's what I'm programmed to do, and that's what I'm pretty much just programmed to like. But like I feel like the sports entertainment part of it is like that's what you were saying, the talking, the character, all that part, where the pro wrestling is just like the cool moves and all that. Like that's my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's how I view it. And I'm a big sports entertainment mark.
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense to me. I haven't watched, I don't remember like the last time I watched WWE, not as part of like a group setting where I watched it with other people, like on my own. I just surely do not recall. Now that has more to do with the fact that I hate more than anything the camera work that the WWE uses.
Oh my god, it's so bad. So like
it's unwatchable.
The current product, I don't watch. I don't watch anything WWE anymore. I watch SummerSlam, but that's because I was there. Me and Wade were like, hey, you want to go to SummerSlam? And we bought like $55 tickets. And we're like up in the nosebleeds. Like, who cares? We're at freaking SummerSlam. But I was there for that. So of course I watched it. But like, I think the last WWE show I watched in full, which wasn't that long ago, but it was just like a sporadic, like, hey, it's on, I got nothing to do, was when Roman Reigns faced Riddle for the titles. And it was a banger match for no reason. And I was like, all right, if this is how the current product is, I'll tune in more, and haven't watched it since.
For me, it's really hard to watch their camera work between all the like swoosh, 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 swoosh cuts, and then like the zooming in and out thing when a move hits. Oh,
right. And
like unreasonably mad does it make me.
There was a thing on Twitter I saw about a couple months ago where it was just someone posting one of the camera angle switches, and it was just like boom, 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 and I'm like, how this isn't watchable? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you could put freaking the two best wrestlers in the world, and they could be having a 5-star match, but with the camera angles doing like that, it makes it unwatchable for me. Like, it just takes me out of it.
I agree. I have nothing against anybody that works at the WWE. By all means, work there, make your money.
Right.
And I don't have anything against the wrestlers there for the most part. It's truly like I just cannot watch this like the camera. No. I just and the other thing too now is like for the last really 2-3 years, all I've watched has been independent wrestling, and I don't have to worry about commercials. And having to watch a match with commercials, oh my gosh, it is painful. I'm like, I want to know what happened.
Right. Yeah, that's like ever since like I got into the business, I've stopped watching like would it be mainstream wrestling, I guess is what you would call it, or
like cable TV wrestling.
Yeah, I've watched independent wrestling, or like I'll go back and watch like old ROH matches or old like when I first got into the business, I for some reason I was like, I'm gonna study 2006 Raw. The worst thing to study when you're first like coming out of just starting in the business. Worst thing to watch. You should be watching like Velocity, Monday Night or Sunday Night Heat, stuff like that. But I was like, this is what I'm gonna watch, and I watched the whole year of Raw. I would watch the Raw, build it up to the pay-per-view, only watch the Raw matches, and I did it. I watched the whole year, and it's also my favorite. It's my favorite year of wrestling. I am a big Edge mark, like big Edge head. I love the Edge head, like Zack Ryder and Matt Cardona and Brian Myers now. They were the coolest. This was before the Edge heads in 06, but like big Edge head fan. I'm a big Edge fan. When he came back, I cried. A funny story about Edge coming back. I'll go off on a little tangent. We were at Jaden's house watching the Royal Rumble, and we did this game where we randomly picked a number between 1 and 30, and whatever your number was, you had to get up, cut a promo as that person, and why you're going to win the Rumble. Well, Jaden picked Edge by just sporadic, like just by chance. We had no clue he was returning, and man, we were all just like bawling. Jaden's cutting the promo. He did the pose. tears. Oh, it was awesome. Big Edge fan. I'm so glad he's back.
That's awesome. Like that you have such a, I don't want to say love, but love, I guess. Like
it is love,
100% for something like for wrestling, like something wrestling like elicits that great of feeling and response from you.
Right. Because like wrestling was my escape from the real world. Like I would come home. This will go on my tangent about how Triple H is my favorite wrestler of all time, by the way, all time. Triple H. Dylan Hells hates Triple H, and we have heat for it. That's the only thing we have heat for. But hates him. I think also the Reign of Terror was great. Because he had the big long like 02 to like 04 where he was heavyweight champion. Great. I don't care what anyone says. But going back to like the escape is I had a DX DVD. It was the new and improved DX. And this was before, streaming services and everything. And like I'd come home, I was bullied. Everyone was bullied in school. I would come home, I'd just be upset and everything, and I'd pop on that DX DVD and Triple H stood out. I was like, this guy is tough. He's cool. He doesn't take shit from nobody. I want to be that guy. So like Triple H was my like growing up, he was my like idol hero. I hate the word idol, but like that's what it is. But yeah, Triple H was like my escape and still is to this day. Like, and then do you remember The Authority?
Yeah.
I get shit on. I won't say shit on, but like poked fun of I was the biggest Authority mark. Seth Rollins, Triple H, Stephanie, dude, great. Company hasn't been the same since. And then nobody's laughing now about me being an Authority mark because look who's in charge.
Right, look who the Authority is now.
Look who the Authority is now. But yeah, there's my little tangent about how Triple H is my favorite wrestler. I can go on about Triple H for days.
Well, when I do the Stack Triple H edition, I will be sure to call on you.
Please. It's also funny because I don't have a single Triple H t-shirt. And I'm the biggest Triple H fan. I have like they just released a 09 DX pop. That was the one that we were talking about how my cat knocked it over. I have the DX 06 pop, like big Triple H fan. I'm the biggest Triple H fan. Oh, the man does no wrong.
So kind of transitioning a little bit from Triple H to how did you decide to pursue wrestling? What made you decide that I love wrestling to go from I love wrestling to I want to wrestle?
It was always one of those things where like I always was like, man, it would be cool to be a wrestler. Like it would always be cool. And I remember the moment I decided, because like wrestling's been a part of my life like since I was in diapers, because my dad grew up on it. So like it was just passed down pretty much. And I remember Armageddon 2008. They had the triple threat between Jeff Hardy, Edge, and Triple H. Back then, I was the biggest Jeff Hardy fan, even though I was like, all right, Triple H, you've had enough. You're like, all right, I'm still your fan, but like Jeff Hardy was the shit in 2008 and 2009. And I remember seeing Jeff, because Jeff, like growing up, Jeff he wasn't the biggest, he wasn't the strongest, but he did it. He won the title. And I was like, if this guy can do it, I can too. And that was the moment I was like, all right, I was like 7 years old. I was like, I'm going to be a pro wrestler. And here we are. So yeah, you could say Jeff Hardy was the reason I did it, or Triple H, but that was the moment where I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to do this.
Nice. Well, you officially made me feel extra old. So thank you.
I'm so sorry. That was not my intention.
No, you're fine. I like it. I know that like all you TWE guys are like pretty, like skew pretty young.
Yeah, I just turned 21 in June.
And I'm ancient, so.
No, I wouldn't say ancient. Don't say that. You're wise. You're wise. We'll say you're wise.
I'll take that. I'll take that for now. So what were some of the best things that you have learned while you're training? Like the stuff that you go back to, if you could tell tell somebody one thing about training at, because you train at TWE, right?
Yeah, it's day one TWE.
What would you impart as far as wisdom?
Oh man, that's a good one. One thing I would say, it was like, if you're ever like feeling lean, like whatever, like I don't know if this is for me, at least try. At least try it. And the cool thing about Jaden is Jaden's willing to give anybody a shot. Now he will straight up tell you like, hey, this might not be for you. Because like, good thing about Jaden is like, he is an honest dude. Take your time, enjoy honestly, the number one would be like, enjoy the journey of training. Because like, I remember, like, I'll think back and like, it seems so long ago. It was only 2 years ago, but like, or 3 years when I started training, 2 years when I debuted, but like, just enjoy it. Enjoy the training, because like, it is a rocket takeoff when you start wrestling. And the intimacy of like training, because like TWE, there's an intimacy with our training classes, I feel. And like the intimacy of like, all right, you don't have to worry about bookings, you don't have to worry about gear, you don't have to worry about all this stuff. The only worry you have is learning and getting better, which is still a main priority, should be a main priority for any wrestler. But like, I miss the days where that was my only like priority, because this business is crazy hectic. But yeah, I think it would just be like, slow down, take your time, and enjoy it. Enjoy the training. Enjoy it.
So who has had the most influence on you both in the ring and out of the ring? It can be two different people.
Are we talking about like from like
wrestling, non-wrestling, however you want to interpret the question?
Obviously Triple H had an influence on me. Man, Wade still has an influence on me. Like, this is probably going to turn into like half Carson, half Wade podcast, but like, man, Wade has pushed me beyond my limits. Like, he has made me, like, he is a lot to do with like who I am today. Because like, he would push me to go to the gym. He would push me to do this, do that. Probably Wade and Triple H, if we're going to be honest. We'll throw Jaden in there just because like, he has a lot to do with like me wrestling, but like, Wade has a lot to do with like me as in general. Because like I said when we were talking before, like, it's my best friend. We did everything together. We still do everything together.
That's so cute.
We try.
Like,
Wade's the best.
Like, I like friends. I'm all about friendship.
That's one. Like, I'm super grateful for TWE. Is like, I not only did I get friends, but I also got a family. Like, we're the big TWE family. You hear about TWE, Jaden, me, CJ, Wade, all of us, and like, we're just a big happy family, and it's awesome. Wouldn't trade those guys for the world.
Aww. Like, I like the TWE family. Like, you guys have always been really good to me. For agreeing to do my podcast and for being really nice when I see you in person.
It's because you're awesome, Belle.
And I love going down to Chattanooga. I miss the TWE arena. Like,
you gotta come back, because I think we were talking about it through Twitter. Is like, we've always been in the same room together, but we've never actually gotten to like formally like in person meet.
This is true. I do not have a photo with you, and I take pictures of everybody.
Next time you're in Chattanooga, or next time we're together, we're getting a photo.
Yes. And I will tweet it and tag you in it, and it'll be awesome.
Yes. And there's recorded proof that it has to happen.
We're putting it out there now. I can't take no takesy backsies.
No take backsies. I'm also glad that someone else says no take backsies, because I say that all the time. Samesies and take backsies.
Oh, samesies is a big one for me too.
I say that all the time. I'll type it out to some people and they're like, samesies, and I'm like, you don't understand. Like,
I guess you just don't get me.
Right. I have the hair. Just
yep, hair flip. I'm glad that you knew that was the hair flip.
Like, oh, I got you.
So, what are your future plans and dreams? Like, what do you want to accomplish out of wrestling?
Obviously long term, like the main goal is to make a living off of wrestling, to, my future wife, my future kids, like to pay their bills, like so we can survive off of wrestling. Short-term goals would be like, obviously I want a steady action booking. I love action to death. Obviously I'm there every show with Jaden. I'm his little gremlin, goon, whatever it is. I think Dylan said I look like Bret Michaels on a 9-week alcoholic binge on commentary once. And I was like, Dylan, that's over my head. And then I Googled it and I was like, oh, he's not kidding. It was if you want to go back and watch it, just see what I look like. It was I think Jaden was wrestling Billy Starks. But I looked just like Bret Michaels on an alcoholic binge. I love that. I would love to get down more involved with Southern Underground Pro. I want to get more out of state. Like I'm doing out of state stuff, but I want more out of state stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, I really want that TWE title. We're just putting it out there. Another goal of mine, which is this might cancel out another question in the later things, but I want to wrestle Brett Eisen. Brett, there was a video after. Now this is maybe like pulling the curtain a little too far, but who cares? We're not shooting here, but like exposing we're breaking kayfabe. There was a video after my first match where Biff beat the absolute shit out of me, threw me through the wall, but it was me. I was walking out the back door to TWE, and Brett, I don't remember what happened, but Brett was mad. Not really, but like for video's sakes. And he grabs me and pushed me against the wall and was like, you got a lot of heart, kid. And that stuck with me, even though it was like kayfabe. And then my 1-year anniversary of wrestling, I got to do my first main event with Jaden. And after the match, Brett was like, all right, drops Jaden with the Psycho Driver, I think is what it was called. And he looks at me and goes, you tired of getting your ass beat? You need to find that killer instinct, and you ain't got it. And like, that was another thing that stuck with me, even though it was kayfabe or whatever. And I was like, all right, I've got it now, Brett. I've got some shit I got to prove you. I just put it on Twitter I think last night. I was like, so Brett's one of those, I look up to him. He's like a mentor to me. He's always been like, if I have something wrong, that I can't go to Jaden, I can't go to Wade, I can go to Brett and be like, hey, this is what's going on. What do I do? So like Brett's someone I really want to wrestle and prove to him I got that killer instinct that he said I didn't have.
So like I've seen Brett wrestle like a couple times, and I know that you've seen Brett wrestle, and you still want to wrestle him, because
yes,
that looks terrifying to me as purely as a fan.
I am a fan of getting my ass beat, like, and I do it regularly. There's the other day, Cruel, it was a couple weeks ago. Cruel came out after I was pitching my little bitch fit because I lost and beat my ass, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm still alive. He didn't kill me. I'd wrestle Cruel. Because my biggest thing is like, yeah, I'm gonna get my ass beat, but I can survive.
So you're calling out Cruel and Brett Eisen. This doesn't seem like the best laid plans, but hey, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You do what's right for you. It's been nice knowing you.
Listen, I may die, or I won't even say I die. I'll get my ass kicked. I will wake up sore, but I will not die. I'll be kicking the next morning. No, it's one of them. Just like those are people that's really kind of like that mean a lot to me. That's kind of like giving me advice and stuff, and I want to wrestle and learn from them. If we're just breaking away from the kayfabe and everything, like those are people that I look up to and want to be in the ring with. It's not a good idea. You are completely right on that. It is not a good idea, but like I enjoy getting my ass beat.
You're still young. You can probably still like reform. Your skeletons not like set yet. So
what I said to someone the other day, I was like, I'm young and dumb. Let me do young and dumb shit while I'm young and dumb. And that's my mentality. Like, let me just be young and dumb.
Enjoy your youth. It goes too quickly.
That's the truth.
Don't be pushing 40, wishing you would have done this sooner, or that you would have gotten involved differently, or that you wish you would have made different choices. Like,
right.
Make the choices.
100%.
There's a lot of things I regret, but the things I regret are the things I didn't do. So do all the things while you're young enough to do them.
100%. I totally agree with that.
As an old person.
Wise person. You're a wise person.
I've made mistakes. I've seen some things.
Oh, that popped me.
So what would you say has been your greatest achievement in wrestling so far? And that can be anything that you want it to be. If you've won like a title, or if you've had like a really good match, whatever your greatest achievement to date is.
Let me pull up because it's literally it's ironic that you asked this. 2 years ago, to this day, me and Bailey Blake won the TWE tag titles. And that's like, just because like it means so much to me. Let's see if I can find the picture of us for the titles. I just posted. There it is. There it is. Can y'all see that? Is that clear? Focus, camera.
Aww.
Yeah. So, and I was like maybe 3 months in. Was not ready for any kind of like push like that, but like I was just enjoying the ride, man. But yeah, that would be up there. I got to do I've had 2 Southern Underground Pro matches under my belt because I wrestled them. I wrestled they did the Incarnation Gauntlet when everything was closed down due to COVID the first time, and it was like I got my ass beat by Manders. And there's a repeating subject here when it comes to me wrestling, and it's me getting my ass beat. But that shit was cool because I was sitting there after the match and I was like, man, I'm not even a year in. I shouldn't be here. Like 90% of people are wrestling in bingo. Like, nothing wrong with wrestling in bingo halls, but like, you get the thing. Like, I shouldn't have been wrestling that squash match against Manders. That's fucking Manders. Like, let's be honest here. I'd like to tear it up with Manders too, if we're being honest. He's beat my ass. Let me at least get something in. But
I
yeah,
love Manders.
Oh, Manders is awesome. Yeah, like the winning the tag titles with Bailey was awesome. That was a big achievement. And then the Southern Underground Pro, like those 2 matches, because I just did the Incarnation Gauntlet again when they ran at the East Side Bowl. I think that's what it's called. I have the sticker here because it's cool. I keep it in my phone where we had to get that to get in the building. So like I keep it in my phone because it was cool, and Suge beat my ass, but I almost got it. I was close. Suge D. I want to wrestle Suge too.
I love Suge. I think he's
Suge's
great.
Awesome. Suge's so good.
You know, I don't have very many bad words to say about too many people. I'll be 100 on it.
Right.
I like
there's a couple of people that there is, but like this isn't about like hating on anyone. This is about good times.
It is 1,000% more effective to talk loudly about the people you enjoy and say nothing about the people you don't.
Exactly. Don't put them in that spotlight.
Right? I don't want to give you any attention.
Exactly. That's the way I see it.
We have similar outlooks, and I appreciate that.
Heck yeah. We got a lot in common.
Right?
And we love pancakes.
You love pancakes? We'll get there.
We'll get there?
Okay.
We'll
get there.
Okay, because I can go on a big rant about pancakes.
That makes my heart happy.
Oh, it's so good.
So what has been the greatest obstacle you've overcome in wrestling? We talked about your greatest achievement. So what is the greatest obstacle you've overcome?
Mental health. So honestly, this time last year, and it's a little bit to do with wrestling and a little bit to do with like personal life, but like I think it evolved and like it'll answer this category or whatever. But I mean, I tweeted it a couple months ago, but like I had lost my house. My car was like not doing well. I just got dumped. Work wasn't letting me wrestle. I had just tore my patella. Like I had a slight tear in my patella. Didn't need surgery, which I've never heard of. I figured if you like tore something like that, you need surgery, but And I was like, I debated on quitting wrestling and just shutting myself in a hole. And here we go back to Aaron Wade again. Aaron Wade dug me out of the slump and was like, hey, man, he's like, if anyone can get out of this slump and beat this, it's you, dude. And yeah, I'd say mental health is like a big thing with wrestling too, because like it takes a toll on you. And we'll go on. This will be a tangent about the sad boy gimmick. Is the whole reasoning behind that is like, hey, I'm sad too. We can all feel that shit, but turn it into a positive. Because my biggest thing is like they see the sad boy stuff on my leg, they're like, oh, that guy's sad too. I can relate to him. He's taking his sadness and putting it in a positive. I can do that too. And that's really where like that whole period of my life is where this whole gimmick came from, was like, hey, like, let's feel this shit together. Let's hurt together. It's okay to not be okay type shit. But yeah, that's pretty much like mental health is a big obstacle I've overcome. And I still have my moments where I'm like, man, I'm not okay. And it's one of those also too, like, I know some people are like, hey, quit feeling sorry for yourself. No, fucking feel sorry for yourself for a little bit. Because at the end of the day, you're the only person that really has to live with you. And if you're not happy and you're not like okay, then do what you've got to do to make yourself okay. And so like, just take time in for yourself. That's what I had to do.
1,010% agree with you. I also have my own mental health things as like a emo girl who's been emo forever.
I feel you. Look at my nails.
Right?
I did these myself.
as like an emo girl, and like I've struggled off and on with different, mental health issues. I see a therapist now, which is pretty dope. Been seeing him for a year and a half. Always advocate.
Aaron Wade is my therapist, so you can see how that goes. But I'm here. I'm happy.
I always advocate for taking care of your mental health because it affects every part of your life, whether it's wrestling or your personal life or your shoot job or whatever, you have going on. Like, your mental health will always cloud it. Right. And like, take care of that first. And like, if you need to feel sad, like, feel fucking sad,
dude.
Like,
sulk.
Like, take some time, be sad. Just don't be sad forever.
Right.
Like you can still be sad and function some days. Not
like,
every day.
It is okay to sit down with a bowl of ice cream or just a tub and watch Netflix and just cry. I've done it. I am a firm believer in crying. It sounds bad, but I love crying.
Same.
I will sit, like, any minor inconvenience, I'll probably just start crying. I will.
I'm a crier.
I could like wake up and have a bad hair day and I just ugly cry.
There's no emotion for which I cannot cry. Am I sad? I can cry. Am I mad about something? Frustrated? Cry. Am I happy? I will also cry. There's at no point where I'm like, I could cry at any time for any reason.
Yep, that's me. Like, I stubbed my toe once and just cried for like a good hour.
I'm a stress crier. Like, so I cry like when I'm really stressed out about something.
Yep. I also have like bad anxiety and like panic attacks. So like, if I'm just like a little bit close to like being overstressed, boom, there it is.
Yeah. When in doubt, cry it out.
Yep. I would put that on a t-shirt. Can we put that on a Val Pancakes t-shirt? When in doubt, cry it out. I love that.
And just have like a sad face on a pancake.
I'm in. I'm so
with
in.
Little tears.
So in. I would buy it. I would buy it in a heartbeat.
I'll talk to the rest of the team and we'll see what we can do.
Hey, what do I have to do? Just a little. What do I have to do for one of those cool ass, like, RBJ got the cool Johnny Cash shirt?
Yeah.
Who do I have to talk to get one of those shirts? Because I want one. I want one. I'm a big MGK fan. Which people are like, he changed genres. He sucks. Fuck you. He was awesome. I love MGK. Tickets to My Downfall, mainstream sellout, like that's the shit. Fuck whoever says he's fake pop punk. I don't care. We'll fight. It'll be like CJ Lawler and Matt Griffin fight. But I want one. That's me. Just the tickets to My Downfall album. If I don't care, I'll pay money to do it. I want one.
I will talk with Christopher and see what we need to do.
Speaking of Christopher, me and him got heat.
Ooh, cut a promo on Christopher.
He let someone into this Here Comes the Pain tournament that wasn't even in the tournament take my title, my Helen, and I'm not happy about it. So Chris Cooper, if you're watching this, I'm coming for it. Helen will be mine again. All right, I'm good.
Okay.
I just had to get that out of my system.
Okay. I will I'll make note of that. And
thanks for dealing with my little tangents. It means a lot.
I enjoy it. Like it makes the conversation so much more fun and interesting. And I appreciate that you want to talk with me. Like it feels like anyway that you want to talk with me.
I do. I've wanted to for a while. I have wanted this for a minute.
That is so wild to me. That anybody wants to sit down and talk with me, but thank you.
Oh, you are welcome. Thank you.
So, if you had an action figure of yourself and it was one of the action figures that could talk, what would you want it to say and what accessories would it come with?
Probably fuck. If I'm being honest.
I mean, you can give it a couple of phrases. Like they can say what, like up to 5 phrases?
Well, it has to curse because I curse way too much. Can it be one of those like Woody where you pull a string?
Yeah.
Because it just sounds so much cooler if you pull a string and an action figure just goes fuck. That just sounds so cool to me. Probably say fuck. Something about being sad and probably yelling. I yell a lot when I'm in the ring. I'll just be like
just like welcome to the sad boy club.
Yeah, something like that. Do you remember the Tough Talkers? You would press a button. Okay, on one of those, it'd be like, welcome to the sad boy club. And then we'd have another one and be like, what's that? And I'd be like, good for you to ask. The accessories. Oh man. Obviously my leather jacket. That's my baby. I've retired it because I don't want it to mess up. I have a beanie I wear to the ring that says dead inside. Probably that. Man, I want to come with like, do you remember the deluxe aggression action figures? From
like those are like the biggie guys?
The big ones are maximum aggression.
Oh, sorry. I was confused.
So Jax had the I think it was the ruthless aggression line, and then they're like that was like their basics, and then their elites were like deluxe aggression. And man, they'd be throwing like random ass like what do we just say? Accessories. Random accessories with everything. Like freaking Triple H would come with like a fire extinguisher, like completely off the topic. So like I want the most randomest last accessory it could be, like something that doesn't even fit me, like tutu, I don't know, something completely random. Like I just want something just like the deluxe aggression that doesn't have anything to do with the action figure.
You could get like, how would you feel about like a microphone but with like a cord?
I mean, you can just swing it around.
Yeah, like
I could do like
Lazara.
Yeah. I mean, all right, so microphone, leather jacket, and the beanie. And then it'd say fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
Fuck. That was a very aggressive fuck.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be aggressive. Because like, all right, you could say fuck in so many different ways. That's like the most universal word ever. I'm just like, you could be like, oh, fuck. And it means like you're sympathetic, but you'd be like, oh, fuck. Same word, but just means 2 different things. That's why I love it. That's why it's my favorite. It's probably my favorite curse word. Did you ever see the TikTok where it was Miranda Cosgrove and it was like, she was like, I actually do cuss a little. And the interviewer was like, well, what's your favorite cuss word? And she goes, probably fuck. That's me. That is so me.
They suck.
Oh, I say it so way too much probably. There's this the old saying is like cuss like a sailor. It's more like cuss like a wrestler in 2022 because like we swear way too much.
I mean, to be fair, wrestlers and sailors are not really like all that different in so much as like you're kind of nomads and you kind of land where you land and you have like a little family in every port.
That's it. Oh my God, you're not wrong. Whoa, you just blew my mind. Oh my God, you're not wrong. Because you go to the different shows and you're like, you got your family here that you don't see much. You go to like this show and it's like, oh my God, you're so right. See, you're wise. This is what I'm saying.
Back in my day. No.
Back in my day. Oh God. Do you know the TWE trainee Josh? He's not a trainee anymore. He's Josh Locke. He's a wrestler now.
I feel like I've heard the name before, but I don't think I know them. I don't think I know him.
Aaron Wade 2.0.
Oh no.
I swear he tries to be like Wade, but like one of his catchphrases, he just go, say we're doing the stack with Val pancakes. He'd go, back in my day, we didn't have stack with Val pancakes. And it's like, I love him to death, but it's not as funny as like nobody thinks it's funny. We just kind of go along with it. I hope he doesn't see this, but like he probably won't. But yeah, he'd watch it. He'd watch it just because he knows I'm going to talk shit about him because I love him. But yeah, like that's his thing is like back in my day, we didn't do this. Back in my day, we didn't have this.
Well, I mean, I don't know how old he is, but probably much younger than myself.
I think he's like, oh man, I'm not going to say how old he is because I don't know and I don't want to offend anyone.
Well, back in my day, we simply respected our elders. So
there you go. I think he's older than me, so technically I have to respect him and laugh at his joke.
There's got to be somebody there that's older than him that can just like cut it off at the pass.
Cheyenne's told him. He doesn't listen. It's still happening.
Oh, Cheyenne.
Oh, she's the best. She is the best.
Oh man, y'all are funny down there. I love y'all. If you were a scented candle, what would the Carson Dilbeck scented candle smell like? And you can have like you know, like how sometimes candles get real fancy and you can have like the layering scents. Like if you could have up to 3, what would your up to 3 scents be?
Is it like, are we just taking what I smell like and bottling it in, or just what I want my candle to smell like?
You can answer that however you want to.
Obviously, I'm a big apple and cinnamon Yankee, like the Yankee candles. There's like 5 of those in my house. So if there was a Carson Dilbeck, like Sad Boy Club, like sponsored candle, that would be it. Yeah, we'll just go with the apple cinnamon because like that you can't. If we keep going, we're just gonna go lower and lower. Like that's the top, like scented candle is the apples and cinnamon.
I just imagine that you just now always smell like an apple crisp.
I wish. God, I wish. And what's bad is I hate like apple pie and stuff. I have a good reasoning.
Excuse me?
Are you
allergic?
Reason. No.
Okay, there's no good reason.
I used to work at McDonald's, right? And the old apple pies, I would just down those bitches. And eventually I was like, man, these aren't good anymore. I'm going to go get a real apple pie. And then the real apple pie wasn't good anymore. And I was like, well, shit. So I'm not a big apple pie guy anymore.
So what about apple crisp though?
I'd have to try it again. I haven't really dipped into like anything apple since I worked at McDonald's. McDonald's ruined a lot of things for me.
So I am of the opinion that apple is the superior fall flavor to pumpkin. I will hear nothing to refute this.
Oh no. You're not a pumpkin spice fan?
No, I'm an apple fan. Thank you.
Okay, I'll take it.
If you want to.
At least it's not like a fuck all the fall flavors.
No, it's just apple's just better. Apple's just better. Also, to be fair, apple anything like an apple crisp, if you will, or an apple pie or an apple crumble.
Apple fritters are good. Apple fritter.
I
can still eat apple fritters.
they still kind of have that, like, take out the pumpkin part, but that spice flavor profile is similar across both. Yep. I just think that apple is better than pumpkin in basically every application, except for maybe carving. I don't know that I'd want to carve an apple like you do a pumpkin. Well, I mean, yeah. You wouldn't hollow it out necessarily.
But you could draw designs in it, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm gonna try that one day. I'm gonna post it. Whenever I do it, I'll be like, hey, you can carve an apple.
Yeah, just tweet the picture with no context and make everyone else figure it out. I'll know.
Yep, you'll know.
If you've listened to the stack, you'll know.
That's why you should listen to the stats and you know what my cryptic tweets are about. I'm a sad boy. I have cryptic tweets.
Also, apple cinnamon muffins are the superior muffin.
I'm a blueberry muffin. I'm basic. I love me some blueberry muffins.
But have you ever had an apple cinnamon muffin?
I have. Okay, so if I'm ranking top 3, it would be blueberry, banana nut muffin or banana nut bread, and then the apple cinnamon.
Oh, see, apple cinnamon is number 1. And then probably blueberry and then banana nut for me.
Okay, so it's kind of similar.
We have kind of the same top 3, just a little different order. Now, I will say that the best apple cinnamon muffins are muffins. My best friend, who is a chef, and it's super easy. It's not like it's hard. You just have to like doctor up like boxed muffin mix. Mm-hmm. So if you get like the muffin mix with like the apple, I think it's just a cinnamon cake or cinnamon coffee cake or something like that with like streusel topping. And then you take apple pie filling and like put it in the mix. And then when you're like, you make the muffins and the muffins are super moist because nothing is more depressing than a dry ass muffin.
Oh, dude. Yep. That's like, that's just like, I'm done with life. I'm going to bed. I'm sleeping with all the like pitch black, crying in my pillow, dry muffin.
Right. If I get if I buy a muffin and it's a dry muffin, I eat the top and then I throw away the rest. It's just not even worth having.
Yep. My best friend can't even cook scrambled eggs, right? If you want that story. So me and Wade were living together. Obviously, it's Wade.
Since it's Wade, I need the story.
Okay, so we were getting up early to go to work, and Wade. I'm sitting on the couch. We're watching some kind of wrestling. I don't remember what it was. We watched so much wrestling. It's probably Wrestling with Regret. Wade loves Wrestling with Regret. I used to hate it because that's all he watched, but it grew on me. But he comes in and he surprises me. He's like, "Hey, I made you some eggs." I was like, "Oh, hell yeah." And I'm eating, and I just crunch. And I was like, the fuck? So I take it out and I was like, oh, there's a shell. There was just a little shell in there. I was like, all right, whatever. I'm eating some more. There's another one. And at this point, Wade heard the crunch. So he's sitting there, he's eating his, and he just goes, hey. And I was like, Wade, did you take the shells out? And he goes, it adds extra protein. Gets up, takes both of our plates because we were finished, and starts washing the dishes. Never let him make eggs for me ever again.
He did that on purpose, so he never had to make you eggs ever again.
I don't think he did it on purpose. I just think Wade's very much the psychopath that'll just go with anything. He has a response to anything as soon as it happens. So he was just like, he heard the crunch and was like, heh. So yeah.
Wow.
That was my Aaron Wade making me breakfast story.
So my best friend, because she's awesome and wonderful and a chef, for my birthday every year makes me breakfast for dinner, and I just tell her what I want and she just makes it.
I'm jealous. I'm so
and
jealous.
So like sometimes we have like one time I had like banana Foster French toast. Mm-hmm. One time I had her make me like chocolate peanut butter pancakes. Like
so good. See, me and Wade can't even make oatmeal right. Because mine always ends up too dry, and then Wade, first time I ever saw him make oat milk, it ended up just pretty much being soup. And I was like, dude, if we combine our oatmeals, we'll have one good bowl of oatmeal. And we finally figured out what we were doing wrong. I was putting not enough milk, and he was putting way too much. But like, we can't cook to save our lives. It's gross. It's whatever comes pre-cooked. We can make like a bowl of chili, but that's all you throw it in a pot and just stir it. But yeah, cooking is not our strong suit. That's why we're wrestlers.
Oh, it's like you need like a house mom or something.
I need something. Martha Stewart tutorials they're not good.
Oh,
they don't teach me shit.
Bless your heart. So you've been wrestling, you said, for what, 3 years?
A little over 2 years. I started training a little over 3 years for training, but it took me a year to debut.
So would you rather go back in time and wrestle yourself for your first match, or go forward in time and wrestle yourself 5 years from now?
Oh, I would rather wrestle myself for my first match because I got the absolute shit beat out of me, dude. It's supposed to be like a 3 to 5 minute match, and ended up going like 8. Not my fault. I'm not gonna say I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, it was someone else's, but this time I'm green as shit. It's not my fault. I was being led.
Stray.
I got through into the wall where hard cam used to be on TWE side. I got through into that. There used to be a hole there. That was me. I got these shit beat out of me. So yeah, I would like to go back just so I could be like, slap a hold on him and be like, hey, slow down. Because man, when I first started, I was wanting to be fucking Kenny Omega. Like I was wanting to be best bout machine in my first match, was not possible. Yeah, I just be like, just so I could be like, hey, slow down, and that just so I didn't get the shit beat out of me.
So what is the wrestling word that you use most outside of wrestling?
Pop. I will all the time. I'll be like, oh, that popped the shit out of me, and people will be like, what? I'm like, you don't get it. You don't get it. There's some people I hang around outside of wrestling that I say it so much that they're starting to pick up on it, and they say it too, and I'm like, yep, that's why you're my friends. But I use pop a lot. Pop's probably the biggest one. I use obviously like work and shoot. Because I'll be like, is it a fucking work? Oh, the second most, it's pop and it's gimmick. Because I'll be like, I'll be asking someone to hand me something at like work, like, oh, it's like, just to pull that curtain. Yeah, I've got a real job. But I'll be like, hey, can you hand me the gimmick? And they'll be like, what? I'm like, oh, the gimmick, the whatever. And so yeah, it's something pop the shit out of me or hand me the gimmick. That's the top ones.
I will say gimmick is the most often answered answer.
Yay, I'm basic.
But I think that just shows like how like
universal it is.
Yeah, through wrestling, because I talk to people from all over, and that's still the answer I get almost every time.
What are yours? What have you picked up on?
As a non-wrestler that has been involved with my local promotion, attending as a fan for 10 years and working with them for like 7, and just being friends with wrestlers and wrestling people, popped is mine.
Yeah, okay, so cool. I'm not the only one.
Nope. I'm like, oh man, that popped me. Or like if like someone texts me something, I'll be like, haha, pop. Like
yeah, like I'll do that. Like someone will send me like a meme or something, and I'll be like, pop, and they're like, huh? I was like, you don't get it. You just don't get it. You don't get it.
So, when you're traveling to go to wrestling, what do you like to listen to? Like, what is your like road music? Do you listen to music? Just a podcast? Where are you at?
It depends on the mood, honestly. Like sometimes I'll be like, all right, I'm in a music mood. Sometimes I'll be in it. Like I'm a big My World Jeff Jarrett fan. I'm also a big Jeff Jarrett fan, like him and Triple H, Jeff Jarrett. But it's mainly music. If it's with like, say I'm on the road with Wade or I'm on the road with Jaden, it's a lot of it's radios turned off and we're just shooting the shit, making memories, telling stories. But if it's like by myself or like Wade's passed out, Wade's so bad about passing out. I'll turn on, I listen to a lot of pop punk. I'm emo as shit. If by the way I dress and everything, which if people want to shit on anyone that's emo, fuck off. Emo's awesome.
10-10 agree as an emo girl.
Exactly. MGK made a song about you.
I didn't like MGK until his pop punk record came out here. And I was like, okay, I can kind of vibe with this.
People call me a bandwagon. I was like, no, he just finally played some shit I'm into.
Yup.
So I say that, but like I went back and listened to some of his stuff and I'm like, okay, he's not as bad as I remember. But also my music taste has evolved since, MGK was doing his rap devil shit. Because that's when I first heard of MGK. Actually, I first heard of MGK when Kevin Owens power bombed him off the fucking Raw set. But at first I was like, he's not that great. I also hate Eminem. I don't know if that's controversial, but I'm not gonna sit here and say one side won and one side didn't, because I think they both did great disses. But Eminem puts out the same song every time. That's my opinion. And people hate me for it, but I'm just like, I'm not an Eminem fan.
To be fair, you were not alive when he first came out.
Yeah, but Apple Music is a thing, and I can listen to it.
But hearing, not that I'm a big Eminem fan, mind you. I'm not. Like, it's just not. I don't have feelings about Eminem either way. Like, there's a couple songs I like, but whatever. But like, the thing is, like, you didn't hear it in the context in which it was made.
That is true. That is very true.
As like a 14-year-old when Eminem came out.
Because like
I was a really bitchy teenager.
I'm also always willing to, like, if I'm like, hey, I hate this, and someone spits their opinion, I'm always willing to listen to it because it could always change how I feel about it. And it did, because I was like, oh, now I'm looking at it like, oh, you're right. I wasn't alive. I don't know the context. I just know the song. So yeah, that's a different perspective to look at it now. But my biggest thing is, like, he just sounds so bitter in every one of his songs. And I'm like, dude, life sucks, but it's not that bad.
Fair.
And like, obviously there's some other songs, like he had put out Till I Collapse, but I only like that song because it was in Real Steel, the movie about the fucking fighting robot. I love that movie, by the way. And I'm like, if I have to associate a song of yours with a memory through a movie, I'm not a big fan of you. I like your shit because I'm emotionally attached to it from a different thing. I also hate a lot of like 80s bands.
Like what?
Like, I hate Kiss.
I mean, I'm mostly indifferent on Kiss, but I fucking hate Journey. Oh, do Dirty I fucking sucks. Hate Journey? Dirty sucks.
Oh. So tired.
I had a whole thing on Twitter today about how much I hate Journey. If you send me Journey shit, we're not friends anymore.
Nope. I don't like Kiss. I'm iffy on Aerosmith. Def Leppard put out Pour Sugar on Me. That was their only good song.
Photograph. I like Photograph.
Photograph's okay.
Because it's not like ridiculously overplayed, and it sounds a little different than most of their other stuff.
That is true. Trying to think of the other 80s bands I like. I can handle Black Sabbath just because, like, Adam Priest has Into the Void and I hear it so much, and Iron Man because I'm a Marvel fan.
I mean, also I think that came out in like the 60s or the 70s.
Oh yeah.
So it predates like that 80s like sound,
that is
if
true.
You will.
I still don't like it.
I mean, you don't have to. I'm not going to judge you for that.
I see, we're a judgment-free zone. That's what I like. That's what I like about the stack.
Oh no, I'll judge you for other things, just not that.
Oh, well, I'm an MGK fan, so we're emo.
That's not what I'm
remember. For. Okay, is it because I don't like 80s music?
No, I'm not. Okay. I'm not judging you for your taste in music.
Okay, cool. I'm open. I'm really open to listen to anything. My biggest thing that I cannot listen to, even though I've tried, is country music. I cannot listen. The only country music star that deserves to be played over and over is Jeff Jarrett, and occasionally Mickey James.
So, have you listened to any country made before you were born?
Yes. God's Gonna Cut You Down, Derek Neal, big Derek Neal fan. No, my grandfather was big into like Willie Nelson, Ricky Skaggs, all that stuff. And I was like, I don't care about you sitting on your porch just a swinging. And I've heard that song so many times. Alabama, hate it. Run on highway, run on whatever. Nope, I'm good. And you want to know a fun fact? I'll pull up while I'm talking. I'll pull up the picture. My first gimmick in wrestling was a country singer, and it almost I hated it so much it almost made me quit the business before I even got started.
So like, see, like I'm not like a big fan of like today's country music.
Look at old country singer me. Focus.
Oh,
Focus. That was me.
oh.
I hated it.
But I will say, and maybe it's because I'm old and I grew up in South Dakota in the middle of nowhere, and it has like a nostalgia value to me, but I love me some 90s country. Like, do you really hate Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks?
I mean, it's not my go-to. I have caught myself, I will admit, I have caught myself singing that because like it is catchy. It will get in your head. It's not like if I'm going to go somewhere, it's not what I'm going to put on, but it's one of those, if it comes on, I won't be like, eh. I'm one of those. So I grew up in one red light town in the middle of fucking Tennessee. So like you can imagine everyone was country this, country that. And so like, oh, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, hey guys, you want to listen to like, you want to listen to some 3 Days Grace, or you want to listen to some like Linkin Park? Which is totally, they consider that dad rock now, don't they? Like, that's crazy to me that that's considered dad rock now.
Well,
because like that was the shit, dude. 3 Days Grace put out 1X, dude. That was my shit. Oh, so good. And they put it in the SBR game. They put Riot and Animal I've Become. Also, 3 Days Grace is one of my favorite bands, but like like Adam Gagnier's days, like the peak, like good 3 Days Grace, not like anything past Transit of Venus, I'm out.
So like the thing is like, as I'm again old now, it's a common theme we're talking about tonight is that Val is old.
Wise. You gotta say you're wise now.
You like that music came out when I was in high school. The people that listen to that music are dads now. Like,
it's so weird to me.
Like, bro, I could be your mom.
I get that a lot, and I'm just like, listen, I was like, I can relate with y'all because I grew up with I never liked the new shit. Like people were listening to growing up, they were like, oh, you like Usher, you know, he put out Oh My God. I was in 4th grade when Oh My God came out.
I'll simply pass away.
And I was like, I'm not a big Usher fan. Yeah. That's about the only song I've ever listened to of Usher. But I was like, I don't know. I was always like, oh, you like this old 3 Days Grace album from 2005, 6? I was never into like the newer shit. I was like, I had my niche and I liked staying in it.
I mean, whatever makes you happy, man.
3 Days Grace does. I love 3 Days Grace.
So if we look through all of your playlists on whatever music app you use, what would be the most surprising song that we would see?
You know what? I don't know. So I'm gonna pull up one of my playlists. One Direction's Kiss You is on there. I fuck with that song.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising.
Have you ever heard of R5?
No.
Are you a Disney person at all? Okay, so Disney Channel had Austin and Ally. Ross Lynch was Austin in Austin and Ally, and he had a band with his siblings called R5. That only concert I've ever been to was R5. So I'm a big R5 fan. I got Wade hooked on R5 because Wade's music taste used to be absolute shit, and nothing I haven't told him to his face. But I'm gonna go pull up my.
You've only been to one concert in your life?
Yeah. I was a wrestling fan. I would rather go to wrestling shows than concerts.
I mean, so when I was in college, I used to book bands to play shows. So I've been to a lot of live music, like a lot.
Humble by Kendrick Lamar's on here. I feel like that's a little surprising.
Yeah, that's a little outside what I would suspect for you based on what you've already told me.
This isn't really like some people could expect it. Are you an anime person at all? No? Okay, so Tokyo Ghoul is like one of my favorite animes, so I have the theme song on here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't do animes.
A lot of it's Prom Queen by Lil Wayne's on here. A lot of these are either Taylor Swift. I bet that's the shocker. I'm a Taylor Swift fan. Ariana Grande and Taylor Swift fucks, and whoever says otherwise can fuck off. I love me some Taylor Swift. She's talking about like being 22. I got one more year, and then everyone for a year is gonna have to hear me come out to that song. I've waited 22 years to use this as a theme song. I'm gonna use it. So Taylor Swift is probably would be the most shocking. Katy Perry. I fuck with Katy Perry.
Huh.
A lot of the Katy Perry came from Wade. Because he was like, hey, I'm gonna he just turned on. He went on this big binge. I think he's still on it, but he's slowly getting away from it. Where he just played like 2010's greatest hits. And Katy Perry came on. I was like, damn, I should have gave her a chance when she was cool. So I don't know what the hell she's doing now.
I don't either. I haven't heard from her in a while.
Do you know
not that she's like texting me or anything, but
I wish she could text me any day. But in the Dark Horse video, there is a replica spinner title. Someone's just chilling with a replica spinner title, and I'm like, I don't know if that's legal, because like they didn't try to block out the logo or anything.
Huh.
So that's a little fun fact. You can go back and watch if you're in your spare time.
I will do that. So I am a Snackosaurus Rex. I love snacks. I'm a big snack person. What are your go-to snacks?
Are we talking about like candies? Because like I have a bunch of different go-tos, just whatever I'm in the mood for.
Like if you go into the gas station after a show and you're getting snacks, what are you getting?
I'm just gonna try and go with my old reliable, the one that never fails me. I go in, I'll probably get like an energy drink because I'm tired of shit. Some kind of like I'm a big Java Monster fan. I love coffee. Big coffee guy. Me and Wade like go into like any town we're in. We try to go to like a local coffee shop to try like different coffees from places. So probably like a Java Monster, just a normal ass Monster. Cosmic Brownie. I freaking love Cosmic Brownies. I'll get the big ass one. It doesn't matter. For Christmas one year, I got Cosmic Brownies as a present. Like some kids are like, this was literally last year too. Some people are like, man, I want like a PS5, or like, oh, I got this. Like I got some fucking Cosmic Brownies and my Christmas was better than y'all's. Cosmic Brownies, maybe some kind of potato chip. I'm a junk fooder. I know wrestlers are supposed to be like eating healthy and all that. No. I like my sweets and I like my potato chips or tater chips, or I'm in the South. I could say tater chips. Shout out Adam Priest. I'm sure Adam Priest says tater chips. Motherfucker. Adam Priest. I love him, but I hate him. I love to hate him.
So like, what is your go-to like, do you have like a go-to like potato chip, or just like whatever you're feeling?
Purple Doritos. Spicy sweet chili Doritos are so good. They're, you know, the bag of munchies. That's just like a sort. I love those. I'm not a big on the flaming hot ones. I feel like it ruined them. I like flaming hot stuff, but like not in my munchies. So
I don't do purple hot anything. So
purple Doritos or the munchies are my go-tos.
Nice. Do you have any pre-match rituals?
Sometimes I get so nervous that I'll go puke. That happens a lot.
Oh,
that happens sometimes. I at first I was like, the first time I did it, I was like, oh, I can't fucking wrestle, and they were like, no, it just shows how much you do, because how it shows how much you care. And then I was talking to Jaden, and Jaden also does it sometimes. My pre-match rituals, and it sounds so sad and so bad on your mental health, but it works. I will go. It's so bad, and people are gonna judge me for doing this, but I have messages saved from like exes and shit, and I'll just like look at those sometimes and play those in my head to get in like a character or whatever. I do that a lot. Yeah, it's just motivation. Like it's not the fact that I'm harping over that shit. Like, it's just like, that's my motivation, like, to prove these motherfuckers, like, hey, y'all may have left and tried to ruin my life, but I'm not,
I'm not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet. That would be, it sounds so sad, but that's probably my pre-match ritual is I'll play that shit in my head to get into my zone.
So I think we kind of established it, but I'm going to ask, who are your like road buddies? Like, who are you traveling with to shows?
The majors are Jaden and Wade. We'll throw Pete Youngblood comes every now and then. I love me some Pete Youngblood, by the way. Everyone everyone loves to hate him. Pete Youngblood does no wrong in my eyes. He'll join in every now and then. Shiny Shoes, because he never lets Cody Manhorn in the car with us, and I don't know why. But so Shiny Shoes is always a fun person to have on the road. But like the main group is me, Jaden, and Wade. Usually Wade sits in the back seat because we never let him drive because the man cannot drive. Which speaks for itself. Like, it's Wade. But yeah, mainly Jaden and me will take front seats. We'll swap out driving most of the time. Cheyenne will come on roads with us. Those are always fun when she gets on the road with us. Because her point of view of wrestling is so fucking great. Because Cheyenne is blunt as fuck. So if she sees something she doesn't like, she's gonna be like, "That was fucking stupid," and it's so great. But yeah, Jaden and Wade's the main ones.
So what is your favorite move to take and what is your favorite move to give?
I love taking cutters and like RKOs. All I do is take moves. I get my ass beat a lot. Choke slams are fun. Which sounds bad, but like Cruel gave me a choke slam and I was just laying there like dead and I'm just like, oh, kill it again. Obviously the pedigree is my favorite move to hit because that's my finish. I feel like, is that like the most common answer? It's like whoever, like what your finish is that what people say?
Yeah, to some extent. I think that's usually how it ends up. But like some people like doing simple things. So
pedigree and the spear are my favorite, my two moves. Those are my two favorite moves to give.
So every wrestler that I've ever talked to ever has at least one story that satisfies one of these categories. Category 1, a good travel story where either something really funny happened or exciting, or like you almost died, like some like fucked up thing that happened while you were traveling, and or a story where you're like, you take a booking at a promotion and you get there and you're like, what the fuck is this? And it's either like the promotion's just fucked up or like there's like some weird situations. Like every wrestler has at least one story that satisfies one of those requirements. So I need to hear yours.
I have a story for both of them. Brilliant.
You can censor any names that you need to protect innocent parties. I'm just going to assume it's Wade at this point, so it's fine.
The terrible story of like almost died on a wrestling trip. Yeah, Wade was involved. So was Noah Hossman. It was a terrible situation when it first started. We laugh about it now, but oh man, Wade's gonna get so mad at me telling the story on a podcast, but he's gonna have to get over it. I have to tell someone because I was the one that suffered in this trip. You got to get everyone's perspective. If you ever have Hossman on it, you got to get his perspective too, because it's the infamous Paradigm story. We rode down with Wade to Paradigm just to help out and everything, and everything went great the way there. They did an ACH seminar. I didn't get to take it because we got late because Wade has to pee every 5 seconds. But we're on the way back, and the car just starts like not going. Like Noah was driving, and it's also a coincidence. We don't know why, but every time Noah touches Wade's car, like touches that steering wheel, something's going wrong. We just don't let him drive Wade's car anymore. But he was pressing the pedal, and it just wasn't going. But like the engine didn't cut off or anything. So I was like, "Hey, just pull over." And we go to pull over, and the car dies right in front of the KFC Yum Bowl or whatever it is. And we were like, "Well, shit." So we were like, all right, I took 4 years of auto mechanics in high school. So I know enough to get me by on cars. So I got on the driver's seat. I turned it. It was like, oh, dead battery. Cool. We call someone. We call Landon Hale. Thank God for Landon Hale. Landon Hale is a gift from God.
I love Landon.
I love Landon. And he comes. I got to go to his graduation. That was cool. A little sidetrack. That was a cool experience. Me, Jaden, and Wade were just, as soon as they called his name, we're like, light it up, light it up. Nobody knew what we were talking about, I don't think, but God, we did. We did, and he did. But we called Landon. He came over. He boosted us off and everything. Everything's going good. And then it dies again on the side of the road. We can't get it. No one's near. We're like maybe an hour and a half out from the arena, which is the Paradigm, the infamous The Arena. That's what it's called.
Yes, I've been.
Oh, you've been? Okay, so you know the Arena, because I said that I was telling that story to someone, and they were like, "Well, what's the arena called?" And I was like, "It's the Arena," and they were like, "No, what is it called?" So I've told the story so many times that it's out of habit to explain. Like, it's called the Arena. But anyways, so I was like, what we can do is, it was like 3 or 4 in the morning. It's in the winter. It's cold as shit. We were like, all right, it's going to suck. Let's just sleep here. We're like an hour into town. We can walk in the morning, get a battery, get us home. Wade starts just freaking out. And Noah's keeping it together more than Wade. But we have Jaden on the phone. He's with Carrie Awful, Maxwell, and all them. And Maxwell was like, "Hey, if you can figure out a way to, we'll figure out something. You could get to our house. You can stay here, whatever." But Noah's trying to take charge, I think, and I appreciate him to do it. But you shouldn't take charge when you don't know what's wrong with the car. And I appreciate him trying to take charge, because in some situations you need someone to be like, all right, this is what we're doing. But I was also just like, hey, let's do this, because my plan was, we'll wait in the morning, we'll get a battery, we'll get it home. No biggie. They book a hotel to stay in, which was fine, but none of us had the money to pay for an hotel. So we were all broke, which is only going to cut it even more of trying to get a battery. So we're like, whatever. Wade's on the phone freaking out with his dad and trying to get a tow truck because he has good insurance, so couldn't get a tow truck. It pissed us off. And the tow truck, we get a tow truck ordered or whatever, and man, like an hour, 2 hours go by, and we're still like middle of fucking winter on the side of the road freezing our ass off. And finally, I was like, look, we have this hotel. They're not coming. Let's get this walk over with, because it's going to be even colder out of this. Because at least when we're in the car, our body heat is going to like kind of heat the car. But we were like, I was like, let's just go. Let's get to the hotel. We'll figure it out in the morning. Wade calls Jaden and was like, hey, can you pick us up? And by the way, it's Paradigm. So like, it's far away. It's like a 5-hour drive from freaking Chattanooga. But Jaden was like, yeah, you're my boys. Of course I'm going to come get you. Lo and behold, if this dog doesn't die on his way to get us, and poor Cheyenne is by herself. Cheyenne's childhood dog died. And and oh man, I felt like shit because I knew it could have all been avoided if we could have just like waited till AutoZone opened, get the battery, come home. But whatever, we're making the walk. Poor Aaron Wade's just crying out on the side of the road, and I regret, and I have apologized to him for many times, but like I felt like he needed kind of like the slap in the face, like, get your shit together, dude. I was like, dude, you are a 4th degree fucking black belt. Like, you can kick anything's ass. Why are you crying on the side of the road? And it's fun because, like, I was ticked off anyways. I was aggravated. I was stressed. I shouldn't have said that because, like, everyone needs to cry. But I was like, this is the last thing we need right now is Wade having a panic attack and breakdown.
A full meltdown.
Yeah, but it worked. It gave him that kick in the ass he needed, and he got through it. But I still feel bad because I shouldn't have said it the way I did. But we get up, some complete stranger offers us a ride. Thank God for him. He probably will never see this, but you're a godsend. We get to the hotel, and we get to the we're waiting for Jaden. We get kicked out of our hotel because, like, it's time for us to leave, and we're in the cold, shivering. Poor Wade only has a hoodie. Noah doesn't have any kind of jacket because he accidentally forgot it in his gear bag in the car. I only have my entrance jacket, which luckily is a thick ass leather jacket, but it's still cold as shit. We get to the AutoZone, get the battery. I pay for everything because I was like, Wade and Noah's broke. I was like, I have just enough money to get the battery. I think they had to pitch in like $10, but it was like $100 and something battery. It fucking sucks. We get the battery, put it on the car. We get to the car. Wade doesn't have any tools. We have to go back to the AutoZone. I buy a set of ratchets, put the battery on, get in the car, go. Poor kid. I was in Jaden's car, and Noah and Wade were in their car, and we were following behind them. They couldn't use their headlights. They couldn't use their AC, radio, phone chargers, nothing, because it would run the battery dead. And we weren't taking any chances. We get to where Noah lives. We made it that far, which is like maybe an hour from TWE, where my car was, so we can meet up and get my car. We make it there. We drop Noah off. We're making about maybe we have like 45 minutes left of the drive. Car dies again. Couldn't start again. I was like, damn it. I was like, now I know it's an alternator, which is the
I was gonna say it sounds like the alternator.
Yep. For anyone who doesn't know cars, that's what keeps your battery charged. Anyone who
I don't know cars. I just had a lot of car problems, and I understand things now.
Exactly. So luckily we're like 10 minutes from my dad's house. So I'm like, hey Dad, I need you to pick us up. We can't get like the car. We've told him everything. He goes, yeah, I'll be there about 10 minutes. We crashed at my dad's house, came back, put we recharged the battery, and it got Wade home so he could fix his alternator. But like a 1-day trip turned into like 3. It was the worst story. That's my number one traumatic story ever. And then to segue into the what the fuck have I gotten myself into? I'm right. I think it was me and Aaron Wade riding up to Bailey Blake got booked at New South, and we pull up to the arena, and it's the infamous JC Arena. It's where they recorded 90% of their the action clashes. And we pull up, and we're like, wait a damn minute. This place is like, it looked like a big ass like chicken coop, like where you would keep chickens, and they made it into an arena. And we get there, and we're like, no, this can't be the right place, because we didn't see an advertisement for New South or anything. So Bailey texts or calls Donnie or Dump and was like, hey, we're at this place. Is it the right thing? And then we see Dump swing out the door, and was like, come on. And we're like, all right. So we're just like, all right, what the fuck have we gotten ourselves into? And then we go in, and the JC Arena is nice as fuck on the inside. But like on the outside, man, it looked like the biggest rundown thing in the world. And we were all three of us were like, what the fuck? I was like, because like New South is not like one of those promotions. Like they're not a shitty promotion. So we were like, this is not like New South. Like New South is a good level promotion, good production, everything. So we were like, nah, this can't be it. And lo and behold, it was it. And now the JC Arena has turned into one of my favorite places I've ever wrestled in, just because of the memories through film and action clash. But that's the biggest, like, what the fuck? If any other show, no matter like how shitty it is, if you ever get a chance to go to a show in the JC Arena, you have to go. Also, what do you think JC Arena stands for?
I have no idea.
The Jesus Christ Arena.
Not what I
thought.
No.
Which nothing wrong with it, but I'm just like, what? Because it has a big from Kiss, the guy with the star, was it Star Child? Starman, whatever it is, just painted on in the locker room, and I'm like, it's the Jesus Christ arena. Why is there no Jesus things? Like it was one of those that made no sense. I also seeing the big thing of Star Dude was another what the fuck moment.
Yeah.
Because I hate Kiss. So I was like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's my stories that took like way too long.
Oh no, those were fantastic stories. And
Okay.
I feel so bad for you.
Oh, dude, it was the worst. It was the worst. But it was one of them, like, we look at it now and it's like, that's what we signed up for. Like, that's what makes the business fun at the end of the day, is now we have a great story to tell.
You were like 3 frozen little indie wrestlers. And I was like,
popsicles.
3 little indie.
It was one of those, like, it felt like it hurt to breathe in. It was so cold, it hurt to breathe in. It was awful.
And y'all are from the South. You're not built for that kind of cold.
Nope.
Like,
which I love the winter anyways. So like I was kind of okay with it, but like not that okay with it. I'm okay to like walk out in it and maybe like sit on like my front porch and like hang out with my friends during the winter, or like sit around like a fire. But like standing in the cold for like 5 hours, hell no.
Aww.
But it made for a great story, and I'm glad it happened, because now we all know. Now everyone knows, like, hey, when it comes to cars, listen to me. And it's not the first time that we've had a problem with Wade's car on the road. Another time we went to, we were going to New South, the infamous JC Arena. It was me, Jaden, Wade, and Bailey Blake. We stopped at a Huddle House that's maybe like 30, 45 minutes from the arena. And,
a what?
Huddle House. Have you never heard of Huddle House? Imagine like a bad version of, like a not as good version of Waffle House.
Okay. See, we don't have those up where I'm from.
You're not missing anything. Not missing anything. We were just hungry and wanted breakfast food, and that was right there. But so we get in, we're eating, we pay and everything. We come out, and me and Jaden came out first, and I looked at Jaden. I was like, "Hey, man, does that tire look flat to you?" And he goes, "Yep." Wade had ran over a nail, which Wade couldn't help it, but like we had run over a nail in the freaking parking lot. And man, I didn't know, like, so me and Jaden were like, all right, let's get this done. We got that tire changed in like 5 minutes. I was like, damn, Jaden, all right. And Jaden's like, yeah, I know a thing or two about cars. I was like, we better know how to change a freaking spare tire. You're an independent wrestler.
That skill could get you booked in some circles.
Exactly. Dude, my car is the biggest piece of shit. And thank God I took 4 years of auto mechanics, because that's the only reason it's still running. Like, it is, it scares me to go on trips, but I'm like, I know what enough to get me back home.
That's fair.
I hate cars, but I love cars. Why can't we all just go back to horses? It'd take forever, but horses would be all you got to do is stop and let them eat and sleep and drink some water.
See, I want like a high-speed rail system.
That would be cool.
Where I don't have to actively travel. I can passively travel.
I would be so okay with that.
I just get on and get off when I get there.
Don't got to worry about breaking down, buying parts.
I don't have to worry about car insurance. I don't have to worry about any of that shit.
Exactly. Car insurance is expensive.
Right?
You don't need horse insurance.
Oh, I'm sure if horses were a thing, that it would, like, I mean, horses are still a thing, but you know what I mean.
Do you think they had horse insurance back in the day?
I bet they did.
I hope so.
I'll research it when we're done.
All right, cool.
I'll let you know.
All right, cool.
I'll just tweet about horse insurance, and you'll know, and I'll know. And nobody else will know for a week.
Just like the apple carvings.
Right? Yeah, listen to the stack. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
yep, you just gotta know.
If you know, you know.
Exactly.
And if you don't, you don't.
You already know. Shout out Aaron.
You already know. So, do you have any hidden talents?
I can juggle.
That is a hidden talent.
I don't have anything next to me that I can juggle with. But
You weren't prepared to juggle?
I wasn't prepared for the question.
I didn't send you the questions in advance, so I guess that's fair.
I like the surprises better. I have a video of me juggling though.
Dope.
Also, you're gonna see like Junior year me.
That wasn't that long ago for you.
It was like, well, I mean, it feels long. I used to post some cringy ass shit.
Dude, I am so glad social media was not a thing when I was in high school. Because boy fucking howdy. I don't want to have to say the same.
This is probably the reason I was bullied.
You're like, upon reflection,
I had a fan tell me I needed to be bullied in high school once.
And I was like, bitch, I was.
I was like, I was. There you go. Is it focusing?
Oh, yep.
Look at young me. I can juggle. I can touch my tongue to my nose. I don't know if you want to see it, I can do it. If it's too disturbing, I won't.
I'm not personally disturbed by this, but trigger warning for anybody else.
Trigger warning. I can't watch this. I'm gonna get really close and personal.
Wow.
That's the thing. We found out because my sister, I have two sisters, but my oldest sister was like, I can't do that. And she researched, was like, why can you do it? And I was born, apparently everyone has this little thing like on their tongue, like right here. And I was born without it. So like I can do things with my tongue. I can't do like the weird, like I can like curl my tongue, but like the like zigzags and everything, I can't do that. But I can juggle and I can touch my nose to my tongue or tongue to my nose, which isn't like, I don't know if that'll pull like brownie points at a party or something. Like I know some kind of card trick. Like I used to be real big into like card tricks. I can do somewhat magic tricks. I don't have a deck of cards anywhere near me. One day we're in person, bring a deck of cards because I'll forget. I'll do some. There used to be this show. I don't know if you remember it, but it was called like Magic's Biggest Secrets Finally Revealed. It's where I learned all my shit. I was so into that show. That show rolled. Then they had a WWE crossover. It was like back in the day they were divas, so it was the WWE Diva Spectacular, I think is what it was called, or Magtastical. I don't know what it is. And I was like, oh shit, my two shows are combining. What kind of small world is this?
And the young Carson's head exploded.
It did. It happened a lot when I was a kid. When I found out wrestling wasn't real, spoiler alert, breaking kayfabe, I was like, nah, dude, what? No. You're telling me Hulk Hogan didn't really body slam Andre the Giant? You're telling me he let him? Nah, dude.
Nobody would let you do that.
Exactly. And then growing up, I was like, oh, okay, I see it.
So just a few more questions, and then we will wrap up. If you could go back in time, what would you tell a 10-year-old version of yourself?
We made it. We did it. Might not be exactly where we thought we would be, because, like, let's be honest, every kid that grows up to be a wrestler thinks they're going to be best friends with, like, John Cena or something. Like, they're going to be signed to the Fed or something. But, like, hey, in 11 years, you're going to be a pro wrestler, and you're going to do everything you wanted to do. Like, you wanted to be a wrestler. Because, like, growing up, it was so weird because, everyone that was into wrestling, their, like, dream was to be WWE champion. Their dream was to, like, main event WrestleMania. And mine was just to be a wrestler. Like, mine was just, like, go show everyone, like, hey, I can do this shit. Yeah, I would probably tell them, like, enjoy it. Don't, because, like, my whole childhood, I was like, I'm ready to be 18. I'm ready to be 18 so I can be a wrestler. I can be a wrestler. And I blew past my childhood, honestly. And small regrets, but I wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't be who I am and where I am today. But, like, just, like, slow down, enjoy it, because, like, you're gonna do everything you wanted to do. You're gonna be who you want to be. And I hope I made little dude Matt proud, little fucking shit. I was a little shit. Which I think I have. Looking back at it, I was like, yeah, I think I've made him proud. And I hope to continue to make him proud.
Aww. So, what is the biggest animal you could take in a fight with just your hands, no weapons?
Oh, I don't want to hurt an animal.
You can pretend it's attacking you. It's either you or them.
Listen, I watched, and it sounds bad, but I watch these videos all the time, and I'm sure this is the number one go-to. But, like, I've watched kangaroo fights. And 90% of the time, if you just knock it one good time, they'll go away. So I feel like if I'm just fucking pow, they would run away. How many people actually say kangaroos?
Several.
Okay, so like going back to me being basic again.
It's one of those questions. It's one of those answers that gets brought up, and sometimes people issue it. They're like, no, but it usually does get brought up every time I ask. Kangaroo and bear are the two that people tend to go to.
Fuck me up. A bear would fuck me up in a heartbeat. It would go for the neck, and I'd just be dead. The whole wrestling bear thing has to be a work. Has to be.
The bear lets them wrestle.
Exactly. Or it's trained to do it. Hell no. I would never say like a dog because like I don't want to think anyone would be like, oh, I would be a dog. And like I love fucking dogs anyways. I could never hurt a dog. But like if a kangaroo came up to me and was like, all right, motherfucker, square up, I'd be like, bop. And if it came back to me, then I'd take off running. And I couldn't outrun it. Like if it caught me, I'd get my ass beat. But if that one punch works, like 90% of the videos I've watched works, I'm good.
Fair enough. So I told you we would get here and we're here now. How do you take your pancakes?
This might be a controversial like thing, but like I think of pancakes as a delicacy. So like adding chocolate chips, adding blueberries, adding anything ruins them.
Okay.
Like just as many as you want to give me, fucking load that shit up with butter and syrup. I'll eat it till I die. Like pancakes are my favorite food. So like, yeah, like same with Oreos. I'm a big Oreo guy, but like,
we'll get there in a second.
Oh, is this another question?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's so weird.
I'll go back.
You've watched before.
Yeah, but I didn't pay attention to the questions that much. I just paid attention to the answers.
Interesting. I was like, sir.
Because when I watched CJ's, I'd be like, I'd pay attention to what he said, and then I'd pay attention to like your answers too, and I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. Now I'm getting to know about two people I like. But like I never paid attention to like, I also like I didn't know, are the questions the same every time?
There are some, generally yes.
Okay.
I kind of stray depending on who I'm talking to and what we're talking about.
Fair enough.
But like I do have like an outline of like questions like I always
it's like a template.
I try to always make sure to ask. Because they usually elicit really good responses, and then we can kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, pancakes, delicacies, waffles, fuck off, fuck all kinds of waffles. I'll name her names because we're still friends. Girl I used to hang around with in like middle school and high school would always be like, waffles are just pancakes with abs. You don't see waffles have a podcast, do you now? So Kayla Baker, if you're watching, I'm on a podcast about pancakes, not waffles.
I will say waffles.
Finally won.
Waffles are inherently classist because for a pancake, right? All you need is batter and a hot flat surface. You don't need electricity. You could heat up a rock if you could heat it up hot enough with a fire.
Exactly. You don't
like
have
you
to
could
have
make a pancake
press.
You have to, like, if you want to make a homemade waffle, you have to have a whole specific appliance dedicated to that one thing. And like, you have extra money laying around to buy appliances that only do one thing.
I'm broke as fuck. You think I could buy a fucking waffle iron?
Right?
Hell no.
Hell no.
Everyone's got a skillet, some flour, and some eggs.
Right?
I think there's more ingredients, but like,
yeah, generally speaking.
I usually just use Bisquick or whatever it's called. So I
usually use pancake mix too.
Yeah, it's some kind of like mix. Like, I'm not picky with my pancakes as long as they're pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do have a funny, like, slight horror story that made me really sad. There's this place where I live called Lottie's Diner, and they shut down. It'll go into the story.
Okay.
But I was eating, it was like after, I think, a wrestling match, because I used to amateur wrestling in high school. And we went there after a home match and was like, all right, I'm going to get some fucking pancakes. And he ordered a cheeseburger, or like some kind of burger. And I go to eat my pancakes. They didn't clean the grill after making his burger. So I bit into it, and all I tasted was burger grease and onions. And I was like, it was one of those like go home, turn all the lights off, fucking sulk in your pillow. Cause like if you like nothing's more sadder than getting a sad pancake.
So I am a very picky eater, and I generally have to like special request food all the time, like when I order it. And like I would say roughly 75, maybe not quite, maybe like 30% of the time it's fucked up.
Yep. And listen, I've worked, and it's 90% fast food. I've worked in fast food. It's not fucking hard.
Dude, and like me, like I'm a big, like I'm very basic. I'm a plain bitch. Like I just don't want anything on my hamburger. I want a hamburger and a bun. And yet somehow, and I'm like, dude, I'm asking you to not do things. I'm telling you to skip steps. Like,
yep.
How, like,
now 90% of it coming from someone who worked in fast food, 90% of it is
muscle memory.
It'll get muscle memory, but 90% of people fucking up orders is because if you go in a rush, it's so fucking like chaotic back there, because in fast food, nobody knows how to be like organized. So like, and when I worked at McDonald's, you just make the thing and slide it. You just slide it through so the people up front can grab it. So if you're not paying attention and trying to hurry through the rush, they'll just grab the wrong thing. So it's so easy. I've never done it because like, just look down when you're grabbing shit, you know? But like, people are like, oh, the cook fucking sucks. It's never the cook. It's always the person that's giving you the food. Because I have gotten my ass chewed out. And I'm just like, dude, I'm trying to fucking support wrestling. I don't even want to be here. Like, quit chewing I've gotten shit thrown at me. People hop the counters. Like, it's over something I didn't even do. I made your burger right. Ugh, I don't miss fast food. I love my job now. I want to quit it because I want to wrestle, but like, fuck, it's so much better than fast food.
Fair enough. So now we're to the Oreo question. Usually I take people on a bit of a journey where so if you just want to join me in the journey here.
Okay.
We're at the store, you're hungry for something sweet. You go down the aisles and you go and you find the cookie aisle and you're like, great, I love cookies. Who doesn't love cookies? But you're like, I don't want chocolate chip cookies or peanut butter cookies or sugar cookies. No. You want America's favorite cookie, which is indeed the Oreo.
The freaking Oreo, yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Oh. And you go to the section with all the Oreos and you're like, I don't want these flavored abominations. No. I want just like an OG, like chocolate cookie, white cream center Oreo, but then you still have options, right? So you can get like the thin Oreos,
disgusting.
or you can get like your OG like single stuffed Oreo.
Okay.
You can get a double stuffed Oreo.
Not as disgusing, but okay.
Or you can get like the mega stuffed Oreo.
All right.
So like how much stuff you getting?
I am the same way with my pancakes that I am with my Oreos. Oreos are a delicacy. There's a reason that the OG Oreo is stuck around for so long. Like, don't fuck up an Oreo. Like, I'm gonna go original Oreo all the way because it's the perfect amount of cream, it's the perfect amount of cookie. If I'm feeling extra, like if I just want the extra, if I'm just wanting the like cream, I'll just buy them those stuff and then just toss the cookies. But that rarely happens, but it does when I'm feeling a little what is the word? Like I want to pig out, I guess. I don't like that term, but that's the only one I can think of. Yeah, OG Oreo with some milk. Also, how do you dip your Oreos? Do you dip your Oreos?
No, I don't like milk.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so an old friend of mine, I used to, do the finger and everything. And then an old friend of mine was like, dude, it's going to get your fingers wet. He sticks an Oreo on a fork and dips it in. I was like, oh my God, you're a genius. Because now you're going to deal with the wet fingers and everything you touch is now milk wet or wet with milk. And then when you're done, you wash the fork, you wash the cup. I was like, dude, and I've changed the game for Oreos for me.
Huh.
And if you get the thin, you can't there's not enough cream to stick in it. But if you get the overstuffed ones, it's too much and it falls off. So you gotta go original so it stays on and you dip it in the milk and it's so good.
I will take your word for it.
Please do, because it's so good. You don't have to try it, but just trust me, it's so good.
So that is the unofficial incorrect answer to the question. The unofficial correct answer to the question is, of course, the double stuffed Oreo.
At least it's not the Finn. At least it's not Finn. Finn's a disgrace to this world. It should never. How do you feel about off-brand Oreos? If, like, say you go, they don't have Oreos out of stock. Will you pick up a off-brand, or will you just be like, nope? If it's not Oreo, I won't do it.
Depends on my mood. I might just eschew it for another cookie, but if I really had my heart set on it,
it's got to be Oreo.
Maybe I'd pick up like a generic like cream sandwich cookie. But
are those the like white cookies?
No,
because the off-brand ones have the white. That's why I brought it up. Is they have the white flavored ones. Oreo's never done this, I don't think.
But they have golden Oreos.
Are those the vanilla flavored?
Yeah.
Where has this been my whole life? I've never seen these.
You've never seen golden Oreos?
No. Is this a thing? I've seen like birthday cake Oreos, mint Oreos, which are just
golden Oreos. Mint anything is kind of ugh.
I hate mint.
I don't like mint either.
Mint chocolate. Now, like Andy's mints, I can handle.
Andy's mints are the only ones I fuck with.
I can handle those. Junior mints are but like Andy's mints, like go to Olive Garden, you get you a mint afterwards. Yep, I can handle those. Those are good.
Yep.
Same. But like mint chocolate chip ice cream, disgusting.
Terrible.
Mint, like I hate mint toothpaste.
Same, like especially like peppermint is gross. Spearmint, I enjoy.
I can handle spearmint.
Like I generally always have spearmint gum on me.
Yep. I'll either do that or just classic like bubblegum flavored. Like I think Extra does like all the weird flavors, and I'm like, no, stop. You don't have to do this.
They're being a little too extra.
I see what you did there. I appreciate it. I am the biggest pun guy.
I love puns and wordplay.
There's a TikToker that is like singing puns because it's fun or something like that. And I followed her for the longest. And
I love puns and
puns
wordplay. It is
so good.
Underrated.
Because they're really punny. And they're so bad delivered. Like bad delivered puns are my favorite because I will sit there and I will horse laugh. And like if you come to me and it's like a good delivered pun, I'll be like, I appreciate it because I enjoy puns. But like a bad delivered pun that everyone else is like giving you crickets for, I will sit there and laugh my ass off because they're good.
I love a good pun.
Puns are so good.
You and me, same page on a lot of things.
I've noticed and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
So this question is from our VIP Vic. When we did lives, he would always ask this question. Now that we're not doing lives, I always ask this question on his behalf.
Okay.
So who would you say has the best gear of all time?
Oh, no. Oh, this is such a hard one because there's so many.
There are many ways to look at this question.
And I watched this, and this is the only question I remembered when I watched CJ's. And I was like, I had a good answer, and I forgot. Oh man, Seth Rollins has some fire gear. Alexa Bliss. I am the biggest Buzz Lightyear fan. I work at a movie theater, and I have all 3 versions of the Lightyear poster. That's how big of a Buzz Lightyear fan. And she came out with a Buzz Lightyear gear, and I was like, marry me.
And then she went and married Ryan Cabrera.
Yeah, that motherfucker. No, I'm kidding. Everyone deserves to be happy. And that's kind of weird if I'm just be like, Star should marry me. But Johnny Gargano, he has some badass gear. He had that Venom gear for one of the takeovers. That shit was tight. Seth Rollins had the white SummerSlam and Night of Champions gear. That's like one of my favorite gears of all time. Fuck. Shawn Michaels was always the same. Eddie and Ray had some good gear. Oh man, but if I have to pick like the best of all time, there's so many people.
That's the question.
Man, and this is gonna sound biased, but Wade has some good gear.
I do think Wade has good gear.
Dude, the green dragon scales, I had pushed him for over a year to do. And because he first did the Dragon Kais. And I was like, dude, that's sick. You should do dragon scales. And then he finally did it. And I was like, fucking finally. Oh man. We'll go with Gargano because there's never been a set of gear that Gargano's put out that I haven't been like, fuck, that's cool.
So
that's so hard.
I'm sorry. The next two questions will probably be easier and then we'll be done. So then you don't have to worry about it anymore.
I hope they're easy.
So what are your upcoming shows?
Oh man, if you wouldn't have asked me, I'm so bad with dates. TWE's running sometime soon. I'm always at Action. Square One Pro up in Dunlap, October 1st. I'm gonna try to get my hands on that motherfucking Dustin Johns. That motherfucker. Dude, first time I ever wrestled, I'm about to fucking win. I got him in the pedigree, right? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get him. He hits me with a fucking chair. Then he doesn't show up. Show up the next couple of shows, and I'm like, you know what? This is my house. This is my place. I'm their top guy. Like you want to
defend it.
You want in Square One? Come through me. Then when he finally showed, I had to super kick the commissioner. There's a crooked commissioner. No, I don't know who's in charge.
In wrestling, a crooked commissioner?
Hard to believe, I know.
I am shook.
Super kicked his teeth down his throat. He had to shove a toothbrush up his butt just to brush his teeth. That's a Rock quote from, I think, Fast and Furious. Shout out The Rock. I'm a big Rock fan. Then the motherfucker, when he finally decides to show up, he cost me my match. Fucking Commissioner Cross chose my opponent. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to choose Dustin John's opponent. You know who I chose? Aaron Wade. But you know what? I can't go down. I knew Wade had it, but I was like, you know what? You're not getting one up on me. So I distracted him, gave him the old crotch chop, and then Wade Crane kicked his soul out of his boots. So yeah, I want to get my hands on Dustin Johns. Man, if Dustin Johns has 1 million haters, I'm one of them. If Dustin John has 2 haters, I'm one of them. If he has 1, I'm it. If he has none, I'm dead. I hate Dustin Johns. Yeah, I've got that. I'll be at any event that's held at TWE. I'll be there. KOBK, I'll be there. I don't know if I'm wrestling. ICW, I'll be there. I'm not wrestling there. I would love to do a death match though. If we're just bitten. I saw Wade and Jaden. I was like, all right, I want to do it because my biggest thing is like and this is just my weird perspective on wrestling. To truly understand and appreciate wrestling, I feel like you need to do all of it. You need to do a death match. You need to do comedy wrestling. You need to do serious wrestling, all of it. So like, I want to do at least one. I would love to do it against CJ. That would be fucking cool. Love to do it against Tank. Because I look up to Tank a lot. Tank, me and Tank bonded over Top Gun. I'm not a big Top Gun fan, but I work at a movie theater, and he was talking about the Top Gun movie. And I was like, hey, I've got a collector's pin in my car for no reason. Do you want it? And we've been cool ever since.
A peace offering to Tank.
Yeah.
Probably not the worst idea you've ever had.
And also, I'm the biggest Reverend Dan or whatever fan, because when he does the freaking you will see me in the background just losing my shit every time he does it. That man is so cool. Oh,
I was so glad when I came down for SCI that I got to meet him.
Oh, so. Dude, I love Rev and Tank. I want to. It doesn't even have to be a death match. I just want to wrestle Tank. Have you also noticed who I'm calling out?
Yeah, big scary guys.
Listen, the whole Sad Boy Club, people are like, oh, yeah, got a death wish. Yeah, I do. Give me Brett Ison. Give me Cruel. Give me Tank. I want them all. Give me them all. Let me wrestle them.
That's terrifying. In theory, I will clip that out and put that on Twitter. Just
Please
as
do.
In its own. And
Please.
Hope for the best for you.
Please. Tag Cruel, tag Brett. If I can think Nick Iggy, I want to fuck him up.
Who amongst us?
Can I just go on a list of who I want to fuck up?
The floor is yours, friend.
All right, cool. Brett, I don't want to fuck up just because he's like a mentor to me. I just kind of like a respect. Like I just want to see if I can go with Tank, not Tank. Tank and Brett and Cruel are the same one. Nick Iggy, that motherfucker, loudmouth. Adam Priest, because fuck Adam Priest. I hope this whole thing gets clipped. There's a list. I know there is. What was the other one? I can see him in my head. Oh, here's one. Billy Starks. If anyone has seen my Twitter, I hate Billy Starks. She ducked me in the Here Comes the Pain tournament. Too scared. She couldn't beat the PC in action. Beat her in a staring contest. I'm like 5-0 against Billy. Someone book it where I can beat her ass in the middle of a ring.
So, just to recap, you're calling out Brett Eisen.
Brett, because I love Brett.
Cruel.
Yeah, because he beat my ass. I got to get some revenge.
Tank.
Yeah, just because Tank's cool. I just want to
Nick Iggy.
I've wanted Nick Iggy for the long. So this is just a fun fact, not to ruin your run, but like Nick Iggy also had a little bit to do with training me. So it's more than just like he's a piece of shit and should deserve to get his mouth caved in. It's more of like he helped train me. I want to finally have that match. But I got to wrestle him as a luchador. He was luchador. I didn't know that. I thought luchador was a cool guy. Wrong. But yeah.
Brett Eisen, Cruel, Tank, Nick Iggy, Billy Starks.
Fuck Billy Starks. Respectfully.
I feel like I'm missing somebody.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Billy and Brett would be the number ones because Billy's just so nice and I hate it. And Billy's like the little sister I never wanted. I don't know if she probably doesn't care about me telling the story, but I was asleep on the apron at TWE one day for Uncharted, and I just start feeling this sharp pain and like a needle just poking in my freaking head. And I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck? It's Billy Starks popping my pimples. And I'm like, stop. And then she wouldn't stop. And I was like, you know what? At least I'm getting a clear face after this.
I love that. That's a cute story.
Dude, I hate her. God, I hate her. I straight up told her if I won the Choo Choo Rumble, she's who I'm calling out so I could beat her ass. No, she'd beat mine. Let's be honest. She'd beat the fuck out of me. But like, I would hang.
I mean, I saw her not this past weekend, but the weekend. I mean, I did see her this past weekend, but I also saw her the weekend before that. And I'm going to see her next weekend too, this weekend. So I've seen her 3 weekends in a row now.
Relay the message. Put it on Twitter. Tell her in person. Anything. This is also a funny story about Billy. The first time I ever met Billy, we're in the Action Library. The locker room's a library. And I'm just sitting in the chair. I think it's me, Jaden, Wade, and Kevin Koo. And I just hear someone crunching on an apple behind me. And I'm like, whatever, someone's just eating. And I hear it again, and I turn around. It's just Billy Starks eating a whole ass onion. And that's my first interaction with Billy Starks, and it's been downhill since then. No, but in all seriousness, I love Billy. I wear the BSB shirt with pride. I want to turn it into like a sad boy, like big sad boy club or something, big sad brand or something. I don't know. But yeah, but for Twitter reasons and kayfabe reasons, I hate you, Billy Starks. You're too nice. Bully Starks is way better. I want to beat your ass one day.
I mean, okay, that is a list.
Don't clip, like, if you post the thing, do not let anyone see the part of where I said she's awesome, because nobody needs to know that.
Nope, that'll just be if you watch the whole show.
Okay, cool.
That's just cool. That's a full stack.
Oh, I'd also like to wrestle Brogan Finley. I got to wrestle him in a tag match. Me and Brogan are pretty, I wouldn't say we're super, super close, but like we're boys. I helped him. If you saw on Twitter, his car broke down in Chattanooga. And I took it. I was like, oh, hell no. I'm not letting my boy stand out in the rain. So like I went and got him and took him to my house, and he got to play with horses all day because my neighbors have horses that I didn't know were there until Brogan got there. And somehow when Brogan pulled up, we pulled up with Brogan, they were like, "Oh shit, Brogan's here. I gotta go play with him."
The horse whisperer, Brogan Finley.
Dude, that man's gonna grow up and be a cowboy. You just wait. You just wait. He's gonna be a cowboy one day. Yeah, Brogan Finley. So if we're recapping, Brett Eisen, Cruel, Tank, Nick Iggy, Billy Starks, Brogan Finley.
That's all.
That's my 6. There's my 6.
Well, that sounds like a terrifying half dozen.
Oh yeah, they all beat my ass.
Yeah, I don't want for myself to wrestle anybody, but not. I mean, those are especially people I don't want to fuck with. But good luck with that.
I'm gonna win. I don't expect. Shout out Aaron Wade. Defeat does not exist in this dojo. I'm also a big Cobra Kai fan, but like that's Wade's thing, so I'm not as public as about it. I'm gonna let him have his thing. But like when Cobra Kai came out, me and Wade were at separate houses at the same time watching Cobra Kai at 3 a.m.
Aww.
Cobra Kai season 5 is great, by the way. If you haven't dipped into Cobra Kai, do it. So good. If it's not your niche, I understand, but it's so good. So good.
Well, on that note, this has been The Stack. I'm Val Pancakes. This is Carson Dilbeck. Carson,
bad boy.
Where can people find you? Plug your Twitter, Instagram, Facebook fan page, YouTube, Twitch, Patreon, OnlyFans, TikTok, merch store, whatever you have.
I don't think an OnlyFans.
Plug it all.
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that. BC Dilbeck. Fun fact: the B stands for Blake. That's my first name. I'm not really open about that, but now's a great time to tell that, just in case anyone's curious. So yeah, BC Dilbeck on that stuff. Snapchat, Facebook. Don't add me on there unless we're super close. I have so many friends requests that I can't see the personal friends. Val, you can send me a friends request because we're friends. But yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees / BC Dilbeck. Also go check out the Bald Monkeys and Val's merch. I don't know if you shout yours out, but you should every show because you have some cool merch. The Stack Pancakes shirt, I'm a big pancake fan and I want to get it, but I'm always broke when I come to shows. I'm gonna forget something. I always do. YouTube, Twitch, everything's BC Dilbeck. Or if it's like a Pro Wrestling Tees, just put / BC Dilbeck. It'll be there.
Okay.
I'm broke as shit. People, please buy my merch. Join the. I just put a dope ass Stranger Things Sad Boy Club shirt out. Please buy it.
Nice.
I'm a big Stranger Things fan too. I don't know. Do you fuck with Stranger Things?
I have not watched the newest season, but I have watched all the previous seasons.
Oh, it's the best season. I got into Stranger Things like right when season 5 let out or released. So I was late in the game and I binged all 5 seasons, or I have 4 or 5 seasons in like a week, and I regret nothing. I have Stranger Things socks. I'm such a Stranger Things fan. But yeah, I think that's all my social media things. Like I said, I'm terrible with dates, names, and my personal shit.
Well, everybody go follow Carson Dilbeck, BC Dilbeck, pretty much everywhere. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight.
Thank you.
I had
it was a
blast talking with you.
This was, as expected, a blast. Didn't disappoint. Held up to all my expectations.
Aww.
I hope we do a part 2. Can we do a part 2 where it's just me and Wade arguing about stories that he's telling wrong?
That might be interesting. I will table that to see what I can do with that. But
cool.
But once again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm just thrilled that anybody wants to sit and talk with me for any length of time. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a blast.
And thank you everybody for listening. Have a good night.
Bye.